Hey, Dwight Clow here. I help people experience God and expand their influence, and today I'm going to show you 4 reasons why you can celebrate being you. We are talking about the gift of your influence, and we're on day 9. We're working our way through your 6 unique qualifications. Did you know that you are uniquely positioned to make a difference in your world? As a matter of fact, nobody else in all of history is poised to make the difference that you are designed to make. You are unique, and we're going through some of the reasons why you're unique, and we're going to go through reasons number 3, 4, 5, and 6 today in rapid succession. So anyway, I'm going to start with a little story, and those of you who know me well have probably already heard this, but I have 4 children, and the way I explain the difference between my children is with this little story of Frosty the Snowman. You probably know the song Frosty the Snowman, and of course this is made into a children's book. And when our firstborn, our little girl, was, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years old, we thought we would read Frosty the Snowman to her, and we thought she'd enjoy this cute little story. Well, we weren't prepared for what happened. She cried for 3 days. There was absolutely no consoling her. Frosty melted. It was a tragedy, and she cried. And so our second child came along, and he was like, "What? Somebody melted?" Totally different response. And then our third child came along, and he said, "I wonder how fast Frosty would melt at the business end of my flamethrower." I should add that that third child is now just grown up to be the most gentle man, wouldn't hurt a fly, but anyway, totally different personality. And then finally our fourth came along, our second daughter, 4th child, and she was kind of like this. Serves him right to melt. Anybody dumb enough to go dancing on a sunny day deserves to melt. So anyway, what this illustrates is that everybody is different. Every one of my children is as different as night and day, and everybody has their own unique personality. And so this is unique qualification number 3, your personality. Your personality qualifies you to make a difference in your world. You know, as a prism refracts and disperses and displays light, so also your individuality, your personality displays the glory of God. There are 7.6 billion people in the world. Everyone is different, and everyone is needed to show who God really is. So your personality helps to qualify you to make the difference God has designed for you to make. And you know, I just want to pause here and say something. Do you know who is celebrating you being you? God is. That's right. God believes in you. He likes you. He likes hanging out with you. He likes who you are. He likes who He's created you to be. He celebrates being you, and He invites you to join Him in that celebration. Anyway, next qualification, I'm going to start with a date on November 30th, 1874. A little baby boy was born, and he was born into kind of a proper British family, and because of the way he was raised, he had absolutely no relationship with his dad at all. And the relationship with his mom was there, but it was very distant. It was like she was almost a stranger to him. At age 7, he was sent away to boarding school, and there he misbehaved, got into trouble, did terrible academically. And you might think that here's somebody that's just kind of off to a really bad start in life, but this is because of this little baby boy that was born that you are probably not bowing down before a monument of Adolf Hitler today and doing the Nazi salute. I'm talking, of course, of Winston Churchill, who understood the threat of Nazism from very early on and rallied the Western nations to stand against the threat of Nazi Germany and to finally defeat it. One of the greatest leaders of the 20th century. So anyway, your unique qualification, number 4, is your place in time and space. Did you know that you were born at exactly the right moment in history? You're not a day too old and not a day too young. I'm 60 years old and I love being 60 years old. And it wasn't always that way. There were times when I felt like I was too young or too old. And finally, I just came to understand that God placed me here when He placed me here. And He placed you at the exact moment in time and the exact place and space where He wants you to be to make the difference that you are designed to make. So, your place in time and space. A next qualification is your skills and talents. You have them for a reason. I was doing a Google search of different skills and talents, and I found a lot of really strange ones. People who could hum and whistle at the same time, and remember one young woman said, "You know, I can cut onions without crying, just too bad I don't like onions." Anyway, I had a friend who every time I saw him, Mike could tell me exactly how many days I had been married. So there are some wild skills and talents out there, and I'm sure that you have useful skills and talents that God has given you and that you've developed over the years, and they are in you for a reason. They're there so that you can make a difference in your world, so that you can bring eternal good into many lives. And finally, unique qualification number 6 is your birth attributes. I'm talking here about things like gender, racial identity, parentage, things that we have no control over. And what these things do is they give you access and credibility to your world that other people are not going to have. I'm a white male. If you're female, you have access to an entire world that I'm an outsider to. And you're going to be able to have influence in that world that I will never have. I have white skin. If you have black skin, you have access to an entire world that I will, again, only be an outsider to. And I will never have the credibility that you will have in your community. I read this quote by a black woman, Venice Robinson. She said, "Because I was created by an intentional, loving, and perfect God, and He chose a skin I would live in, and so I wear it with pride, knowing that I have been fearfully and wonderfully made." So, yes, I understand that racism and sexism and bigotry are realities in our fallen world. But God has given us the birth attributes that He's given us for a reason. He wants them to be an asset, and He wants us to use what we have to make a difference for good. So, bottom line is, please don't beat yourself up about who you are. God is celebrating you, and He invites you into that celebration. Well, next time we're going to be back with more on the gift of your influence. Meanwhile, I do invite you to kim51.com. That's kim51.com. I have a free gift waiting for you there. And shout out to Quint, who's been helping me with my online presence. I'm just making a little bit of progress. I'm sure more is still to come. So anyway, thanks, Quint, and bless you guys. Have a great day.